I gave you my heart. The very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special.
Guys, I have to show you something. We've worked with a lot of singers and we're singers ourselves, and I know immediately when a singer has a bad in-ear mix. And right now, if we were her vocal coaches, number one, we would have pre-tested the mix and we would have delayed the performance. It's Rosé, delay it. It's Rosé. They'll wait, you know. We would have made sure that her in-ear mix was crisp.
Yes.
And I'm seeing a live drummer.
Yes.
In a small room like that?
Yes.
They didn't do electronic drums?
Hold me back.
They didn't do electronic drums?
Hold me back.
You don't think all she hears in that room is a snare and a hi-hat? I play drums.
Oh, I have something to say.
Let me just show you. Be looking at when notice when she'll play around with her in-ear.
I actually started doing it because I was like, oh.
Yeah. Notice that. That's what you want to pick up on.
She's adjusting because she's not hearing, her mix is off. What she's hearing, her ears is off.
I'll give it to someone special. Once bitten and twice shy. I keep my distance, but you still catch my eye. Tell me, baby, do you recognize me? Well, it's been a year and it doesn't surprise me. Merry Christmas, I wrapped it up and sent it with a note saying I love you, I meant it. Now I know what a fool I've been, but if you kiss me now, I know you fool me again. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. The very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special.
He's got an ear out too. Interesting.
I'm shocked that they.
Interesting.
I'm shocked that they had live drums in that small venue because
so close to her.
Likely, what will happen is in a radio performance, there's nothing is mic'd in the lounge. So, for example, if she was our client, we'd be like, what can she do? If she takes her in-ear out, then she can't even barely hear herself.
Oh, it's even worse.
Because then all she's going to hear is then the snare in the house because everybody else is plugged in.
Oh.
I highly doubt it's actually mic'd with wedge monitors. I'm not seeing anything.
Can I also make one comment? She's also tucked to the back. So she's literally, it's like, when the sound is kind of going all over the place, it's literally hitting her.
Yeah.
Like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And I'm not frustrated at her. I'm frustrated at whatever was going on that made it to where she had to keep adjusting her ear. And you can see it on her face. Like I know now, I've seen enough. I've heard her enough. When she's really confident and she can hear herself and she knows she's on point and in the pocket, her expression is different, and I can tell that she's a little frustrated herself.
No, we feel for her because
I'm frustrated for her.
We have both had performances where we can't hear in our in-ears, and at least you always actually sound amazing.
Well,
I'll speak for me as someone who is not naturally talented at singing. I'll listen back to performances when my in-ears went to crap and I couldn't hear anything, and I can't even listen back to them.
But that's how we yeah. Sometimes that's how we learn and we get better. But in this case,
situation, this shouldn't have happened.
This should not have happened.
BBC should have done electronic drums at the very least.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Just keep it going.
But she's still showing up.
Crowded room, friends with tired eyes. I'm hiding from you and your soft eyes. My God, I thought you were someone to rely on. I guess I was a shoulder to cry on. A face on a lover, the fire in his heart.
Notice the reach for the ear.
Me apart. Ooh, now I'm bound to be alive will never pull me again. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. The next day, yeah, you gave it away. To save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. A face on a lover with the fire in his heart. A man undercover, but you tore him apart. Well, maybe next year, mate. I'll give it to someone.
She's adorable.
I'll give it to someone special.
She's special. She is special.
Especially that vocal tone, it's one of one.
Special.
One of one vocal tone.
Another thing I just want to add, let us not forget, she just did a show, like, I don't know, 4 days ago, and she had a sore throat. So she also might be still recovering, and under the circumstances of maybe not being able to hear herself as well. And you could even see the background singers, the bass player had an ear out. I saw a couple of the background singers adjusting their ears. Under the circumstances, she made no excuses. She showed up and she was a professional about it. She did her thing. And sometimes, unfortunately, most of the time, the mix is completely out of your control as a singer. But at the same time,
if we were
she was
on
the
her
focal
team,
point. So
we would be
that should have
proud.
been-
If she was our client as a vocal coach, like
I would have stepped down. I would have been a manager, been all over that
we would
mix.
have. But we would be proud because at the end of the day, you
did her
can't.
thing.
You can't always control the situation, and we understand how difficult it is when you can't hear yourself.
Yeah.
Like as a singer, it's basic. You gotta be able to hear yourself. But we'd be proud because regardless, she showed up. She's very professional. Had a good attitude about it.
Yep.
And there's even something that we've talked about before. She seems like a very just chill person.
She does. Like she'll just kind of like roll with the punches. She'll go with the flow.
Which is
She'll
our kind
do
of
her
people.
thing, and yes,
those are the kind of people we like. We don't like the
we'll
people
work
that
with
are
those people all
like.
day long.
That's what we like to work with. We don't like to work with the people that are like prima donnas. We're like, no thanks, we're good.
No.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
No offense.
No, it's
But
it's
you know what
very
I mean.
true. She has a good attitude, and regardless, I'm just really proud of her because she could have stopped the show. I mean, you get sometimes you get one chance, like until next year. This was that one. She'll probably do more Christmas songs, more lounges, more things like this. But on BBC Radio, this was her first chance to really.
And it made history, correct? I think
that's why
I only know
really
that because of
like-
your comment.
Yes, thanks for filling
You
us
guys
in.
filled us in on that.
But
so
anyways,
I think it really
We're
comes
on
down
her
to.
team.
It comes down to, I think the drums makes me sad because before I was a singer, I was a drummer. But
Phenomenal.
Babe, well,
Phenomenal.
not now, but babe, thank you. But I
Prodigy.
mean, well,
Sorry, I have to. I
thank
have
you.
to.
But they're so loud. They're so loud, and I would be shocked. Like you guys know Dingo Voice, that production, and if you hear acapellas from it, they don't actually mic anything in the room.
For a reason.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes it hard, and then everyone's mic bleeds into each other. That would make the mix really hard.
Messy.
I would really imagine that they're not playing anything into the room because all it does is bleed into everyone's mics. Which means that probably, and I don't know this for certain, I've never done BBC, but I would imagine that the only thing that they could actually hear loudly in that lounge would be the drums. only because they weren't electronic drums. And when I was drumming a lot, I would always look down on electronic drums. I'd be like, you can't use electronic drums.
Until
Now, in small settings, I'm a fan of how good they've made electronic
It's a
drums. You can
must.
still use ghost notes. You can still do all kinds of
you can still do your thing,
fills.
drummers.
You can still do your
You
thing.
can still do your thing.
But it really helps out the singers.
It preserves.
Have
their
you been in a
voice, too.
show, a small venue where the drummer is all you can hear? I've been in it.
There was one that came to mind. I did a House of Blues lounge. So probably it was a bigger House of Blues, but I was so close to the drummer. I had an incredible band, but I was so close, and they were live drums, and they were exactly what you just explained. And literally the next day, I felt like my ears were going to just like bleed out. I mean, after the show, I felt like my ears were going to, no, seriously, because it was so loud. And when I went to adjust and I went to pull an ear out so I could hear myself in the house, no bueno. It didn't, like, it actually made it worse. And phenomenal band, but the drummer was the only one that I could hear. And he was incredible. But the point that I'm getting at is it's
It makes
just
it
important.
difficult as a vocalist.
Yeah, and my voice was shot too.
It does.
So God bless her, because I know she's probably still recovering, like we talked about. But that's frustrating for her. But she still showed up. So we're proud
I'm frustrated
of her.
for her. But you know what? There's another one. There's APT. And you guys requested that. So let's check that out. We'll
Let's
post that one
do
today
it.
as well. And
Yep.
yeah.
Proud
Let's
of you,
see.
Rose.
Let's see if anything, see if the mix engineer can get it right. Maybe her team went back and yelled at that mix engineer and
Kindly chewed them out.
said, turn her up in her mix.
Yeah.
I can see it on all of their faces.
Oh yeah. And
That's a
again, we've
BBC
been in
issue.
situations.
Yeah, I can know. You
We've
know
done-
immediately. You
we've
can see it
played-
in the eyes. Like for me, for us, for any singer,
You're trying to
if the
just-
eyes start darting, it's
Or when
kind
I
of like
see a woman kind of playing with her hair, but making her way to her ear to, I'm like, oh, I've been there. I know that
You're
look.
like-
I'm like, play with my hair.
Meanwhile,
Be next time.
yeah. All right. Well, let's check out this other one. Love you guys. Let us know what you thought. By the way, we'll have the official one on Patreon. We always watch the official video on
Yes,
YouTube.
always.
We do get claimed many times, sometimes months after. We wish we didn't. We want you guys to enjoy this in the same way that we enjoy watching
the
it.
full
We'd love to
experience.
just give you the full experience on YouTube. It's what we'd really love.
And that's our
But
goal.
We've gotten claimed so much that moving forward, we just can't. It's gotten like out of control. The claims, strike potentials, like it's
Yeah, it
crazy,
just puts
guys.
us at risk.
So we just can't do it anymore. Unfortunately, we will have it on Patreon. And thank you for those who are supporting the
Yes,
channel
thank
and
you so
joining the
much.
Patreon. Means a lot, and the fact that you guys are enjoying it. So thank you. We'll keep giving you as much as we can on YouTube, but just know that. And if we have to mute it, if they come back for it later and we have to mute it, just know you can check it out on Patreon. We might have to mute it. Wish we didn't. But as long as you guys are enjoying these with us, we'll keep
don't
doing
wanna
it.
do this.
All right? Tons of love.
Tons of love.